Welcome to another Friday night. This is On Fire Family, and this is Happy Hour. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yo ho ho, and a bottle of rum. Hoist the mainsail, here I come. Ain't no room on board for the ensign sea. You're my witness, I'm your mutiny.
Well, the last video we left you off in Norfolk, Virginia, after we had done the Dismal Swamp and made our way up the Atlantic ICW to get to Norfolk. And so in this video, we'll take you all the way from Norfolk and cover our entire time on the Chesapeake Bay, which I won't say sped through, but it felt fast in comparison to much of our loop.
Yeah, we've heard you can spend the whole summer there, but, you know, we have places to go and people to see. So, unfortunately, we had to skip through some stuff.
Yeah, so from Norfolk, we anchored in Reedville, Virginia, which was a nice little stop, kind of a means to an end. We were heading for the Potomac to get to Washington, D.C., and we needed kind of a late in the day, easy in, easy out to avoid some weather on the Chesapeake. The Chesapeake is no joke when it comes to weather forecast and waves and direction.
Yeah, you have to treat it like open water.
So it was... when we got a good weather day, we tended to make it a long day, and sometimes skipping places we would have preferred to stop. So, and then we went up the Potomac, and we anchored right off of Mount Vernon, which I would say
It was so cool.
is probably one of the highlights of our loop.
Yeah.
So we just dropped the anchor right there in front of George Washington's house, and spent the night, and dinghied over, and got to tour all of Mount Vernon. We even
First thing the next morning.
Well, today is a big day. It doesn't get any better than anchoring right here at the base of Mount Vernon, George Washington's home. And we're going to go tour it. So we're out in the dinghy. We're going to tie up at the dinghy dock and go tour Mount Vernon. And then later on today, head all the way into Washington, D.C. It's going to be an exciting one. Cheers.
Cheers.
How was Mount Vernon, guys?
It was great.
Went on a behind-the-scenes, in-the-basement tour, which was really cool. From there, we continued up the Potomac, and I would say another highlight of our entire loop was seeing like the Washington Monument and the Capitol come into view from our boat as we're approaching Washington, D.C. Just an amazing experience for us as a family, for the kids. It was just incredible. And then we did D.C., like all the things. So what just happened?
Well, yesterday just happened is that when we got into our marina, we ran into a senator that just introduced himself like he's a regular kind of a guy. And then he invited us onto a friend's boat where we had some bourbon, of course. And then he asked us if we had Capitol tour times, and I said no, I couldn't get them. And so he set us up with his really awesome assistant, and she just gave us like a behind-the-scenes tour of the Capitol and of the Library of Congress. And we just are so grateful to both of them and had the best time.
It was awesome. The kids just in awe of everything that we got to see this morning. Incredible, and just so grateful
So blessed.
to have this opportunity and live in this great country. we're going to see the rest of DC. Cheers.
Cheers.
We did the Capitol tour, Air and Space Museum, all the stuff.
Library of Congress. We really enjoyed the Museum of the Bible. It was recommended, and just all 5 floors are amazing, especially the interactive thing of the Hebrew Bible. Just, I could not recommend it enough. We spent a night, our first night there, we walked all of the monuments, most of the monuments, at dark, so we could see them all lit up, and that was fantastic. And then we took a metro ride to Arlington National Cemetery, and we saw the Iwo Jima statue and
Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
Yeah, it was really close to Memorial Day, and so yeah, that was really heartfelt.
Yeah. And then a couple other museums and stops and things, but it was an exhausting time in DC.
Oh,
it was
I
like
just thought of
go.
The Natural History Museum. There's a lot of marine biology stuff, so Madeline was very excited. And then the National Archives. So
to see the Constitution and
Bill of Rights and the Declaration of Independence.
It was really neat. I think our favorite part, hands down, as a family, the behind-the-scenes tour of the Capitol that we got, courtesy of a fellow boater, was just absolutely incredible. From there, it was another 2-day trek down the Potomac. It's not an easy or short trip, and so 2 days to get back to the Chesapeake. We did Solomon's Island and pulled in and anchored there. A little bit late in the day, so we weren't able to see the museum that they have there until the following morning. So we got a bit of a late start because we hit the museum when it opened, the Calvert Maritime Museum. So here we are on the Chesapeake Bay. We entered the Chesapeake at Norfolk, where we went around and started our journey north. We overnighted briefly in Reedville, Virginia, before making our way up the Potomac to Washington, D.C. Then we descended back down the Potomac and popped out, and now make our way north. We're at Solomon's, Maryland today, with plans to go over to St. Michael's, spend some time in Annapolis, and then continue further north up to the C&D Canal, where we make it into the Delaware River, around Cape May, Atlantic City, and continue our journey north. But it had something for all of us.
Yeah.
Our daughter that's interested in marine biology, our son who's interested in river otters, and me that just loves everything boats and boating history.
Well, and there was a lot of wooden boats there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they had an old lightkeeper's house that they had moved 2 miles, and so we got to go up, and they actually had several bedrooms, and I guess that was the thing for me. I don't know if there was something for everybody, but there was something for all of them.
Yeah. So from Solomon's Island, we went across the bay to St. Michael's. And
Cute.
St. Michael's was a cool little town, beautiful little stop. There was a beautiful wooden boat next to us, moored there, that was nice. Again, another maritime museum, the Chesapeake Bay Maritime Museum.
This time we went alone.
Yeah, the family had tapped out, but I thoroughly enjoyed the Maritime Museum there, which was great. We did some more dining and kind of sightseeing and relaxing.
A brewery, and then a tap place where you get your own, and you get your own wine, and it was lovely.
And then from St. Michael's to Annapolis. And we got a good weather day to cross over, a relatively short trip back across Chesapeake Bay to Annapolis. But again, seeing that city skyline, the domes of the Naval Academy as you approach, it was incredible. And then
Well, Seth's brother Sean and his family came down, so we got to see them, and that was fun.
We met fellow Looper family Fika. They were
Yes.
there on a mooring ball.
We
And
had a son and a daughter, and our sons played hours and hours and hours at
Yeah.
the playground.
we got to see the Blue Angels. Not the big show for the commencement, but they were leaving town, and so they flew over one last time, and we saw them as we were pulling into Annapolis, and that was a lot of fun. Just a really good time. We got some boat jobs done that we needed to get done. We had boxes that were delivered there that we had been desperately
Yes.
waiting on.
What did we work on?
So that was an important one. We replaced an air conditioner. This is the second air conditioner on the boat that we've replaced.
Nice and cool.
It went. It's the one for the cockpit out here. So warm when you want it, cool when you want it. So that was a big fix and logistical challenge to get all the bits and pieces and
Well, out and in.
right.
Yeah.
So it's all fixed up and everything's good. And then from Annapolis, what do we do?
We had a long push to Chesapeake City.
Yeah, the further north. So completing the Chesapeake Bay itself, Chesapeake City is on the one end of the C&D Canal, Chesapeake Delaware Canal. And so a night in Chesapeake City.
That was Memorial Day, and so it was kind of like a party in there, not as like a solemn occasion. But yeah, it was a good time. We anchored and dinghied in for some party.
From
I
dinner,
guess.
yeah. And then a quick trip through the C&D Canal to Delaware City, which is on the other end of the Delaware C&D Canal, and met up with tons of loopers there. They do a route briefing to get you through what can be a rough ride in the Delaware Bay, and we followed their directions to a T, and we had a completely calm, peaceful, delightful time down the Delaware Bay and into Cape May, New Jersey, which is where we staged for our very long offshore Atlantic portion of our trip. But we'll save that story for the next video.
We wrapped it up with 2 boater friends in Cape May.
Yeah, to pull in there, because of the timing of it, when we got a good weather window, we went, and there were no real marina options. They were all booked up.
Everybody went, so it was pretty booked up.
So it was a little bit crazy, but we were able to raft up, and that was the first time we've rafted up on our loop, and it was a lot of fun. So that put us in a good place to stage for that offshore Atlantic portion. So thank you guys for joining us for another happy hour. It's great sharing these adventures with you. If you have questions, put them down in the comments. We answer every single one of those. We'd appreciate it if you'd hit subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next week with another happy hour. Cheers.